Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And my Lord, what in the world is going on in New York City? Man, you got the mayor, Eric Adams, that has been indicted. We know Sean Puffy Combs has been indicted. And what is going on with all this sex trafficking, drugging of females? It is demonic and diabolical, that things that are taking place in the business world and in the entertainment world. And what I'm seeing now with this Puffy situation, post the Bill Cosby saga and R. Kelly, this has opened up Pandora's box. I did not know that there was this much chaos and disruption going on in these big cities with all of this sex trafficking, human trafficking, drugging individuals, R-ing individuals that are unconscious, not giving consent. And now, and the U.S. District Attorney, Damian Williams, with the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan, he is going to be extremely busy with indictments and trying to find and filter out this criminal activity that's taking place. He's making a name for himself. And I guess maybe once all of this stuff eases over, maybe he'll run for mayor or governor of New York. But he has a certain claim to fame, being a U.S. attorney that's indicting all these individuals. And now we have a story of the largest or the most profitable real estate family out of New York and Miami that's engaged and has been alleged in these same kind of puffy allegations. This is surrounded around at least 2 to 3 brothers, the Alexander family. So let's get into this one. And they are huge in the real estate market and the partying scene from New York to Miami. So let's go. Drugged and unable to escape. Sex trafficking charges rock celebrity real estate clan. 3 brothers in a celebrity real estate family were charged with sex trafficking conspiracy in a case involving dozens of victims from Miami Beach to New York, prosecutors said on Wednesday. Now remember, this entire story is very, very similar. It's completely in line with the Puffy saga. Remember, Puffy has a home in Miami, Star Island, and of course he's from New York, and these individuals were going from Miami to New York. Twins Orrin and Aylin Alexander and their elder brother Tal were charged with working together to repeatedly and violently drug, SA, and R dozens of victims, according to a federal indictment filed in New York. The New York courtrooms are going to be busy, especially the federal courtrooms. They were arrested Wednesday in Miami. The charges come in the wake of a string of lawsuits accusing the brothers of R and SA assaults. So the drugged victims. Damian Williams, the U.S. attorney in Manhattan, said all 3 brothers had used force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion in essaying women for more than a decade. This conduct, as alleged, is heinous, Attorney Williams told reporters. Some of the victims who were drugged found themselves unable to speak or to move, leaving them unable to escape, and were left with partial memories of their assaults, Williams said. Orrin and Aylin Alexander were also facing separate sexual battery charges in Miami Beach, according to arrest warrants made public Wednesday afternoon. Orrin Alexander is innocent, his lawyer Susan Nichols told USA Today. The evidence will show that neither he nor his brother ever committed a crime. Lawyers for Tal and Aylin Alexander could not immediately be reached for comment. So here are some of the civil lawsuits against the Alexander brothers. The Alexander brothers, who are telegenic twins, Oren and Alon, and their elder brother Tal, have been the subject of several lawsuits by women alleging they were ard and possibly drugged. Until news broke of the the essay assault allegations, Oren and Alon Alexander were fixtures on the jet set, attending glitzy parties in Miami, New York, and partying in the Mediterranean. Oren and Tal Alexander run the Alexander team, which boasts of brokering sales worth more than $7 billion in luxury markets, including New York, South Florida, Aspen, Colorado. We are glad to hear that there will finally be some measure of accountability for the Alexander brothers and justice for their many victims. The law firm Wigdor LLP, which represents several women who've accused the Alexanders of R, said in a statement. We applaud all the survivors who have had the strength and courage to speak up about their unimaginable experiences after years of pain and suffering. And now we have witnesses that spoke of the gang R's. In a memo asking a federal judge to deny bail, prosecutors wrote that witnesses and victims told investigators that the Alexanders had been R-ing women since they were in high school. How could not the state of Florida or the state of New York, let alone the feds, not be aware of any of these allegations and rumors that go back 20 years? That's the real question. How have they been able to get away with this for so long, including Puffy? Evidence for this from the investigation, including multiple victim and witness accounts, shows that the Alexander brothers began engaging in acts of sex violence, including gang R's, while still in high school in Miami, Florida, the memo says. Each of the victims that the government has interviewed from this period reported hearing that individuals involved, including Tal Alexander, talked about the assaults at school while they're in high school, boasting about running trains on their victims and saying that they wanted to do it again. New York Magazine cited witnesses in an August article who said the brothers often spoke of running a train, which is a slang for the act of gang R, when they were in high school. In their senior year at Michael M. Kropp Senior High School in northern Miami, Oren and Alon's Alexander's yearbook included a page with the question, "What was your most memorable moment at Kropp?" According to the New York Magazine, Oren Alexander replied, "Riding my first choo-choo train." Really? These people will tell on themselves. They'll give you all kind of signs and symbols. The twins graduated from high school in 2005. 11 years later, as Tal, Oren, and Alon Alexander planned a 2016 trip to Tulum, Mexico with male friends, women flown in for entertainment, and drugs, including GHB, considered a date or drug under federal law. The term appeared again in a group chat. I don't want anyone being upset if they don't run a 10-man train, an identified member of the group wrote. And here are the Miami charges. In affidavits, Miami Beach police detectives accused Alon Alexander in October 2021 of group essay assault of a woman lured to a luxury apartment on Miami Beach's beachfront Collins Avenue under the pretext of attending a barbecue. Oren Alexander also joined that assault. The victim told Miami Beach Police Detective David Alvarez an Alexander cousin, Ohad Fisherman, is at large, and Dade County prosecutors are looking for him. More than 30 women have alleged that they are R-ed by Oren Alexander, Alon Alexander, or both brothers, according to a lawsuit filed by model Angelica Parker. Parker charged that she was R-ed by Alon and Tal Alexander in 2012 while their brother Oren watched. They denied the allegations. So these guys have been charged, arrested, and they got no bail. In a letter to the U.S. Judge Valerie Caproni, prosecutors asked that the three brothers be held without bail, citing the nature of the crimes they're accused of, their wealth, and close connections to Israel, where extradition to the United States can be a drawn-out process. After relying on their substantial wealth and connections to carry out and conceal their crimes for years, all three defendants now face charges carrying potential sentences in prison of 15 years to life. Assistant U.S. Attorneys Kaya Arroyo and Elizabeth Espinosa wrote, "The three brothers pose an ongoing and significant danger to the community and present a serious risk of flight," the prosecutor said. So these three gentlemen, at least two of them, if not all three, have been arrested with the same exact allegations as Sean Puffy Combs. So in the party scene in New York and Miami, which we know are extremely fast-paced cities, how long has this kind of crazy, arrogant, thinking I'm above the law behavior has been going on? What in the world? I've been to New York and I've been to Miami. I've been to New York 20 times over my lifetime, but never was in the Manhattan party scene or the Upper East Side. But what in the world are these wealthy individuals doing at these parties and having the kind of gumption that they think they are above the law and taking advantage of not one woman, but multiple women over many years? And how in the world could the state authorities, let alone the feds, not have been aware of these alleged allegations and abuse that they've contributed against women going on this long? It makes you wonder, have the authorities had their nose in the ground or face in the ground and just ignored this behavior? I just can't believe that this kind of behavior, whether it's drugging women, these kinds of assaults, that this never got out into the rumor mill throughout these cities and these states. I think at some point these state authorities and of course we know the feds, they regulate and litigate throughout our entire country, so they may not be able to pay attention to every little detail of what individuals are doing. But we're talking about high net worth individuals, and how could this go on for over 20 years? This is just beyond me. And then it makes you question, why is it now that the U.S. government has opened up Pandora's box and are going after all these individuals for these alleged heinous acts against women? And maybe that's why the Survivors Act in the city of New York and the state of New York got enacted, where you can go back several decades and there's no statute of limitations, and these allegations can come to the surface and these guys can be charged with these crimes. So there had to have been some kind of boiling point and rumor mill that these kinds of assaults have been taking place for many years for New York City to even enact, bring back the Survivors Act and go back decades. There's a lot of cleaning up that has to be done. The entertainment industry, big business, these real estate tycoons, their past is haunting them right now in their present. Tell me what you think. This has been the Trevor Donald Experience.